Welcome back, folks. Here we are again to play some City of Villains. We're standing before the Pillar of Ice and Flame, ready to hop into some 1 to 15 content. This time we are looking for the story arc following The Underdogs Never Win, which I believe is Fire and Heist. Yep. So this is Firewire, our contact for this story arc. Here we go. So check it out. There's this bank in Mercy, yeah? Used to get robbed all the time, but now the RIP have got it on super secure lockdown. Word is that they're storing a bunch of stuff in there now. Money, artifacts, the works. They figure no one's going to try to rob the place now, but you and me are going to be the ones to rob that place blind. You and me are going to be working on 2 different parts each time. Your first part is going to be real easy, I swear. What's it supposed to be? Alright. I got some inside info from a guy who's guarding there. I told him I'm going to split some of the cash with him, but I'm just going to light him on fire in the end. Nice, huh? Real nice. Anyway, he left the detailed info inside a statue here in Mercy. You got to be the one to get it and check it out. Meantime, I'm going to go run some surveillance on the place. Check out the times when the security switches up. That'll be the time when you and me make our move. Let's meet back up here once we both got what we need. You dig? I dig. Alright. So, teleport directly to this guy, as the mission is also in Mercy. And here we are. Beautiful Mercy. Butt shot? Not so much. Alright. So, find Snitch's note inside of a statue. Alright. Looking through the statue. Alright, we found the Snitch's note. What do we got? You found a note with a number of details regarding security within the bank, all given by the Snitch Firewire talked about. The security is impressive, to say the least. All the guards are armed with submachine guns, each holding rounds that could pierce through a wall of concrete. There are also turrets set up on the walls, ready to deploy in case of an attack. The guard left one last note. They're upgrading the system soon. A bunch of higher-ups were given documents detailing the upgrade. You can usually find them around the in parts of Mercy. In parts of Mercy here. Get those documents, and you can easily hack into the upgrade. All right. So, find the RIP officials. And we see one right here. So, got to get 3 documents off these guys. In other words, defeat 3 groups of enemies. Ow. Heh. Got some lag there. As he comically falls forwards and backwards in the air. Alright. Is he dead? No, he's not dead. I thought that would be a little too easy. Once again, fighting these dudes that are, you know, far below me in level. Well, maybe not too far, but enough to where they're grays and give me no benefit whatsoever. Alright, now to return to Firewire, because we got the documents we needed from those guys. I have to say that actually, these open world missions I'm really not a fan of. That's actually one of the reasons I really enjoy City of Heroes over most other MMOs, is I prefer the sort of instance mission content, like in City of Heroes. You know, it just makes me feel more like when I'm in a mission, it's actually about me and my hero and any other, well, heroes/villains that I'm teamed up with, you know? Anyway, continuing on. Everything go cool on your end? Nice. This is exactly what we're gonna need. I checked out when they're switching the guards up. Looks like they're weakest around the middle of the afternoon. That's when they got when they got guys switching guard posts, and when they got some tech guy coming in to make sure the security system hasn't been hacked or anything. They're keeping security here real tight, but I think you and me got ourselves an in with this upgrade they're doing. Them documents you found are going to be the key to the whole thing. Part 2. All good bank robbers have a plan B. Alright, so here's the skinny on what we got to do next, Netherath. That upgrade looks like it's going in about 30 minutes or so. I'm going to see about hooking up into one of their networks and slipping one of my nasty viruses in there. That'll at least solve the issue with those nasty turrets going on. I'm going to need you to do 1 or 2 things for me while I'm taking out the turrets. This better be worth it, Firewire. What is it? It's going to be so worth it, Netherath. I need you to run some interference for me. Take out some of the cops so they're not noticing me hacking into the system. Then I'm going to need you to book it real fast to an office building near here. The RIP are using it as one of their storage facilities. We got to get ourselves a detailed list of what exactly is in that vault. You really got to book it, though, because according to my sources, they're planning on moving that info later on today. So, I don't remember if this is a timed mission that he's referring to, or if it's just kind of like a story thing of, hey, you better hurry. Anyway, we got to defeat 10 RIP. Short for Rogue Island Police, of course. But yeah, which, you know, hey, the whole instance thing, that, you know, that can kind of go in a little bit to, you know, why I haven't posted videos up in a while. Well, one of the reasons. Obviously, I've let my subscription to City of Heroes lapse, which is why I'm playing, you know, this dude, for the most part anyway, is, hey, he uses SOs, which you don't have to, you know, have a VIP subscription or be any particular tier on the, Paragon Rewards totem pole to use. So, like, hey, I can still record a video with this villain because he's not using invention or enhancements. But I also decided to try Star Wars Old Republic, which, hey, yeah, it is what it is. You know, and there's aspects about the game that I really like. Obviously, particularly the story bits, because that's kind of its big unique thing. Is I love how personal the missions feel. Because you get dialogue and talk to people and all that. It just feels... The missions generally don't feel as much like a rat in a maze as the typical MMO, I guess. The bonus missions definitely do, because almost every bonus mission I've ever gotten in the game is just, hey, you know, you're off doing XYZ, and when you defeat one of the enemies around there, it's like, okay, defeat 30 more of these guys. And, you know, that's pretty freaking dull. And there's plenty of those missions, too, but... Oh. Okay, let's talk to this dude real quick, and I'll continue my rant. Netherath, name's Matthew Burke, who is an old contact in Mercy, by the way. And I'm here to give you a heads up. The guy you're working with, Firewire, he's planning on betraying you. This office building has been vacant for weeks. I've seen his transmissions. He's planning on setting everything up so that it looks like you tried to rob that bank alone. Then he plans on showing up with Arachnos to bring you in and earn some major points with them. I don't even know you. How should I trust what you're saying? If you knew me, you'd know that I'm not. I'm not one to let Arachnos take in any more people, but you don't, and that's fine. Here's an Arachnos disguise. He's been talking to one operative, Leola, about this. If you want to see for yourself, go talk with him with this disguise on. He'll think you're one of the soldiers assigned to handle this. We'll see what I find, Burke. Alright. So, did he actually give me a disguise, or... Okay, I guess it's just gonna be on when I go in the mission. That's fine. Okay, yeah. I've got the disguise on now. Here we go. You're a late soldier. Do it again and you'll find yourself sent to Warburg. And trust me, you do not want to go there. We've received word from the villain Firewire that Netherath is planning on robbing the bank in Mercy. The RIP will mostly not be able to stop him. Firewire will give us a signal when he has Netherath cornered, and we will arrive to bring him in. We cannot have that vault robbed at any cost. Understood? Loud and clear. So, we see that there is some truth to what Matthew Burke is saying. And here we are. Reconvene with Mr. Burke. I assume you now see that Firewire intends to betray you. What are you planning on doing now? Backstabbing him, of course, and I'll need some backup. Tell me what you know. I know that the skulls in Mercy City are constantly being hounded by the RIP, and that there's a big crackdown on them going on right nearby. They're not the best at long-term loyalties, but if you were to rescue a few of them, I'm sure you could strike up a deal to get them to have your back during the robbery. I'd just make sure to get a bunch of them on your side. Those Arachnos toadies are powerful, but sheer numbers will put them down. I'll do just that. Alright, so I have to save 5 groups of skulls from being arrested by the RIP, I believe. But let's see. Yeah, here we go. Let's see, what was I talking about? Star Wars. How I love the mission things, but a lot of the missions, they don't really hide it so well. But yeah, that's one of the things I really noticed while I was playing the game, and I'm still playing it because you know, you bought the game, you get a free month, and the game hasn't been out for a month yet. And yet I'm already, I already haven't played it in a couple of days, so, you know, it's a game that I think I'll go back to every now and then, because I do want to finish one or two of the class stories, because I think they're kind of interesting. But this is still definitely the MMO for me. It's just, you know, I love the instance stuff, and, you know, feeling like it's more my own personal thing, or at least, you know, my personal super teams thing, you know, when I'm part of a group. And, you know, I love being able to take out multiple guys, like more than just 2 or 3 guys with my single character. And most MMOs just don't let you do that. And I really don't like that. In this game, you know, you can easily get your character powerful enough to take on groups to fight as many as 8 normal heroes with just standard enhancements if you deck yourself out, and that's awesome. But anyway, how things go on your end, Netherath? What? The office was empty? Man, that's too bad. But hey, on the bright side, you'll be in for a big surprise when you get into the vault. Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I've almost got everything set up on my end. All that's left is making the big move on the bank itself. You ready to make some big cash, Netherath? Okay, here's the big plan, Netherath. I'm going to trigger the virus that I put into their systems. It's going to cause their turrets to explode. I'm going to cause a mess in the main lobby and take out the majority of the RIP guards. That's when I want you to make your way in and take out the remaining guards, then break into the vault. I'm going to buy you some time by disconnecting the security systems, then I'll head over to the bank and give you some backup. You got any questions? I'm assuming you'll help drag out all the loot, right? Oh, of course. You and me, we're going to get everything out of there together. And if we go fast enough, we can get everything out of there before any extra security backup arrives. Plus, since the security cameras are going to be disabled, they ain't going to know it was us who robbed the place. Win-win scenario, huh? Man, this guy is so slick. He's gonna get his, though. But yeah, hard to imagine a dude who looks like this going to rob a bank, but hey, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, there's definitely things about Star Wars that are interesting and good, but, again, this is the MMO for me. Smoke fills the Mercy City Bank. It seems the Firewire was at least telling the truth about blowing up the turrets. And hey, there's stuff about this game that, you know, that I am not a huge fan of either, but it has more things that captivate me than any other MMO has managed. I've had people, you know, be like, hey, why don't you try Champions Online? I have, and one of the things that I really can't stand about Champions Online, and a reason that I never even have played it much, really, because I really dislike the art style. I don't like the very toonish look of them. I prefer the slightly more, you know, realistic look of this game. You know, it's just a preference thing. I can't really articulate why I prefer this one so heavily to that one. But like, I just couldn't get into it. I played one character up to a modest level. I'm not gonna say a high level. I honestly don't even remember how high it was, but I don't know. It always felt to me like my attacks would come way later than I wanted after I shot them off too, and I think part of that is an illusion, just because there are the moves to build up your energy in that game, unlike in this game, you know? Well, if you played, you know. And I don't know, it always felt like those were just filler attacks to me, as opposed to, you know, where in City of Heroes you can build up almost any attack aside from, you know, Brawl right here. And, you know, maybe like boxing or kick. Those attacks, like all your primary attack powers, you can build up to being, you know, something that's worthwhile, even if it isn't just an attack damage. You know, like, if you wanted, you could turn hand clap into a thing on a super strength brute or tank. Anyway, here we go. Grabbing the money from the bank. It's Netherath. I told you he's trying to rob this place blind. Oh, you son of a... You think you can really cross Arachnos and the RIP, Netherath? Well, you got another thing coming. You're gonna... What? Skulls? I don't know how you learned about this, Netherath. But you ain't gonna survive. Oh, we'll see about that. Oh, come on, target him. Hold on, we can... We can make things right, right? No. But first, I'm going to take out your buddies. Along with the help of the skulls. If I can even get to them in time. Oh, this is just rape. That was terrible. Wow. Alright, let's talk to him. Hey, hold on, okay? I was just kidding around. We're gonna beat Arachnos and take the loot for ourselves, right? Okay, I messed up, okay? There, I said it. Just, come on, man, just let me go. I'll leave you alone. You can take all my money, too. You're not worth killing, or not today, Firewater. Kill him. He's gonna die. You kill Fire, ensuring that he pays the ultimate price for trying to cross you. I just wanted to get ahead. Yeah. Cheesy, but delicious. Anyway, kind of a sideways rant talking about other games, but you know, I also played DCUO briefly, and I did play a character up to a high level in that game, like 27, 28, and I think the level cap was 30. I don't remember. Either way, I was like just a couple of levels from the cap, and I just kind of stopped playing. I haven't played it since it went free to play, and I probably will go back to it just to check in on how things have progressed with the game. But I don't know, like I enjoy that game more than I did Champions Online. And I definitely thought it was pretty interesting. But I think that part of what turned me off to that game was the whole licensing thing, because it always felt like they were trying to shove the signature characters, down my throat, which I know some people appreciate, but I more prefer to have my own characters and have them be sort of the main focus. You know, even if there are certainly story arcs in City of Heroes where you kind of don't feel like you're the main focus. Where the heck is this guy? Speak with Lieutenant Harris. Huh? And then you run into things like that in this game, and it makes me go like, ugh, come on. What's the deal? This is not common. Okay, great. I really feel like he should be right here. Huh. Well, that's really weird. Anyway, since I can't find this guy, I'm gonna wind things down. Basically, when you talk to this guy, let me try to remember. Essentially, he would, just be this guy sitting there that's saying, "Hey, the longbow. I used to be with the longbow, and I know how to bring them down from the inside. But you're gonna have to work with me, and you're gonna have to trust me." If you ask him, like, "Hey, why do you want to do this?" He's like, "I was made a mockery of." And so the next story arc we have will actually be focusing on working with this Lieutenant Harris. And I like this next one pretty good. So despite the rather anticlimactic end, which, this is really just kind of to ease you into the next storyline anyway, rather than really ending this one, because, the story in this one is just basically, hey, this guy tries to cross you, and, you take him down or you let him live. But yeah, we'll continue from here next time, and meet up with Lieutenant Harris. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.